Another day, another dollar. How's it going, everybody? My name is Infamous Isaac, and I'm here with a video on Black Clover, or another video, I should say. This is the second arc in the show so far. Um, it should be the second arc in the manga as well, if I remember looking at the arcs list correctly. It's the dungeon exploration arc. In the anime, it was like 6 episodes long. In the manga, it was like 11 chapters. So, let me get into the spoiler-free section first to talk about it, and after that, I'll go into the spoilers. So, hope y'all are ready. Hope you have your food or anything, because usually my videos, from what I can tell, are easily digestible when you're listening to them and not looking at them. Because, to be fair, my videos, if you think about them, are kind of like those TikToks or Instagram reels or shorts where you have the clip at the top and then the gameplay at the bottom. Except my clip is just words instead of having a second clip attached. So think of it like that, I guess. But yeah, let me get into the spoiler free stuff. So this arc, I feel like, has its ups and its downs. I do remember this arc because this was in my first watch through of the show, and I enjoyed it. I feel like I enjoyed it the first time, and I enjoyed it the second time as well. My only problems is that, like, immediate problems where episode 17, and I'm not gonna get specific, so don't worry about spoilers. But that episode has really bad CGI for some reason, and I don't mean that as in like, oh wow, all CGI is bad. No, because Mappa has shown that they can make great CGI, and I wouldn't be surprised if Studio Parrot could do the same thing. But this is 2017 as well, so I'm not surprised that it looks it's kind of crusty, because this show is closer to Dragon Ball Super Battle of Gods than it is like Dragon Ball Superhero, if you want a comparison. So it it hasn't progressed yet. The technology hadn't progressed yet. So I'm not ragging on it too bad, but it's hard to watch it. It's distracting. And it's not like that for the entire arc. It's just that one episode for some reason had really really bad looking CGI. Like it was, oof, man, it was rough. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. But besides that, I feel like this arc was nice. It was fun. It was short, so it didn't overstay its welcome, and it introduced us to the character dynamics in some groups. And overall, we just get to learn more about this world, about the neighboring kingdoms and all that stuff, and also you just get some funny and cute moments. Overall, like, I was laughing and smiling a lot watching this. And again, I'm watching it in dub too, so we also get some good voice acting, some really good voice acting from the main character as well. And I just feel like this the this dub cast is really good. Like, I really enjoy them, and it doesn't even have to be like, to have a good dub cast. You need to have star-studded roster. No, you just need people that can immerse themselves in the role. And I'm not speaking from experience. I'm just talking from the consumer level, in a sense, from a viewer level, where if that person is immersed in a role and they have some liberties and freedoms on how they want to portray the character, then I feel like that's when the characters come out the best. Because the main character in this feels like he has so many liberties but still retains the same, like, nature that the character is meant to have, from what I can tell. I feel like that's so good. Like, having that, making the person who's doing it comfortable and wanting them to do it to the point where it feels like they are the character. It's like having Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, or Heath Ledger as the Joker, or stuff like that, right? Like, you can't unassociate this person with the role, and I feel like that's what really makes a character feel great, feel alive, feel natural, feel like you can invest yourself in it, and I love that. I think that's amazing. But character voice acting aside, I feel like the story was simple, but that's perfectly fine, because I'm not gonna spoil what the story is for this, but there's a reason why it's 6 episodes. So again, it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's enjoyable for the most part, except for the CGI that I saw. But if you take that away, I feel like this arc would be an 8. But for me, it's like a 7 to a 7.5. It's like, this show, again, it's showing that promise of having amazing animation, and I'm all here for it. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm excited for that, and also just overall, like, it's showing promise. Period. So I can't wait to get to the point in the story where I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm surprised again. And hopefully, I don't burn myself out because I think there's like 157 episodes left. So hopefully, we excuse me, I get there and I'm still just as invested as I am now. But it's gonna be a long ride. So just hopefully you're all buckle in and everything. But yeah, I'm gonna give this a 7.5. I can't say my MVP yet because I'm not in the spoiler section. But yeah, I'm gonna go there right now. I'm gonna end the spoiler free section now. Spoiler free, or well, excuse me, spoiler section beginning. So this arc takes place immediately after the last arc, which was the Magic Knight's entrance exam. And what the main thing is that you have Asta, Noelle, and Luck. Those three are gonna go dungeon splunking in a sense. Go dungeon exploring in a new dungeon that just showed up. And Asta doesn't know what a dungeon is, but basically it's literally an area that's been lost to time from ancient people who left treasures, hidden treasures inside, but it's trapped and booby trapped and everything. So it's gonna be dangerous. But the Wizard King, excuse me, not the Magic King, he requested Asta himself, like personally. So Noelle is tagging along, and so is Luck, because we saw Magna last time. Now it's Luck's turn. But in the other side with the Golden Deer, after leaving the Black Bulls, we have them, and Yuno was also personally asked to go as well. So Klaus and uh, Mimosa, there you go, Mimosa. I thought I was about calling Miasma. Those three are going as well again because the Wizard King decreed for what's his face to go as well. So there's gonna be 6 people from the Magic Knights going, and I remember watching this and the first time and really liking it. So I was super excited to see what was gonna happen. And once they get there, Luck goes off to find this one strong guy in the vicinity, excuse me. And then it just leaves Noel and Asta. But then and the Golden Deer show up. They're just like, oh, what's going on? How's it going, Asta? And before that, I forgot to mention that Asta was talking to Noel about how him and are basically brothers in a sense, where they grew up together and they're friends, they're rivals. So he shows up and they're just talking and all that. Klaus and Asta don't like each other because it's Klaus being a royal and Asta being a commoner. They just don't like each other. But it's like funny banter. It's not spiteful, bitter banter. So I really enjoy that. You have Mimosa as well, who's actually Noel's cousin. So I think that's really cool as well. I forgot that they were related. But I like the relationship a lot. Even though Noelle is super mean to her, Noelle cares about her. And I feel like that really shows how the relationship is. Mimosa's super nice to her and cares a lot about Noelle. She admires her. And Noelle cares about her. She's a tsundere, so she has a hard time like showing it in front of other people. So I like the relationship, and and Asta just being buddy buddy, being rivals as well. It's awesome. It's awesome for sure. But yeah, so those two groups decide let's have a competition. Whoever finds the treasure first wins. And so they split off, and and excuse me, Asta and Noel have to find it without what's it to name, Luck, who has amazing like mana sense. He can sense magic like crazy. So they're having a rough time, but they managed to find him. They managed to go find his mana. But meanwhile, you have and the Golden Deer. And by the way, I forgot to mention, last episode I called them like the Midnight Suns or whatever. That's a Marvel game. Their name is the Golden Deer, so I'm sorry about that if you commented that like, oh, it's the Golden Deer, it's the Golden Deer, get it right, dummy. I was like, all right, bet, I'm sorry. But yeah, so they go to find the treasure because they all have mana. Asta doesn't, so they manage to find it easily. But they find someone else. They find Mars, and he's the main antagonist of this arc right now. So Klaus have to fight him because he actually knocked out Mimosa, so she's healing herself, and it's just those two fighting right now. So Asta, on the other hand, finds Luck, and they help him out because he actually found one of the guys in this dungeon, like one of the people. And I forgot to mention, so Mars and the other guy that they found, they're from the Diamond Kingdom, and they're also here for the dungeon because the dungeon borders their country as well. Like it's on the border of Clover and Diamond Kingdom, so that's why they're both intersecting each other. But Luck has been fighting this guy. He's having a hard time, and in the meanwhile, we get to see his backstory of like, oh, my mother was abusive because I was always smiling all the time, and he was kind of like somewhat, I guess you could say defective, but that's really a rude way of putting it. He was different. He was different from the other kids, so he was outcasted. But once he got his mana and he got power, his mom started accepting him, and his mom was just like, "Please, look, you have to win. Only winners thrive in this world. So become a winner." And ever since then, he's just become a battle hungry freak who wants to win, because his mom imprinted that on him, and that's the only way he could like garner love from her. So that's why he's so battle hungry, is what I'm trying to say. So Asta shows up and he's like, "I'm not gonna let you fight this alone because you're my friend. I'm not gonna let you throw away your life like this." And so he shows up and Noel's helping him as well, and they manage to beat him. But the guy runs away. He's like, "Yeah, I have smoke powers. I can make a train." That's pretty cool, honestly. I actually think that's super cool. And man made a steam train, like 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 Game Grumps jokes aside. He made a steam train and he got all of his goons out. And while they were talking, he hid away, waiting for them to find the treasure. So Luck, Asta, and Noel go over to and all of them because that's where the treasure is. And they find Mars. Klaus is knocked out, and it's just fending for himself right now. So Asta shows up, and he's just beefing with Mars, crazy stuff. He manages to beat him in a cool fight, but this is where the CGI comes into play. Again, it's just super jarring, super weird. Like it has the early 2010s vibes for me, and I really wish that it wasn't there. Because again, CGI isn't bad. It's just how it's handled. It's the bad thing. It's like how weapons aren't bad. It's just the people behind them who are, or at least like excuse me, the people behind him who have malintent. That's what I meant to say. Not like every person with a weapon is bad, but that's besides the point. That's getting into politics. So he shows up and he manages to beat Mars, or at least so we think. So they enter the dungeon, like the treasury, and they find a bunch of stuff, super cool stuff. You have Noel with a bubble. You have Mimosa finding all this stuff. You have Luck finding some stuff. It's cool, super cool. You have Yuno who finds a scroll. It's like a wind scroll that adds spells into his grimoire, and it's super cool. It gives him a bunch of it gives him a bunch of new spells, new materials, new tech. And you have Asta on the other hand, who gets led by Nero, which is the bird on his head. And by the way, you can see Nero in the beginning art like episodes of the show. I think that's super adorable. Like Nero's so cute. He's just a cute little guy. Like if I ever had the money, I want to get a Nero plushie because it's so cute. Like he's so adorable. And this entire show is just like the cute moments are just so wholesome. I really enjoy them. But he leads Asta to an area, and what's his face shows up again, Mars, because he's not done, and he knocks Asta into the room that he was just standing in front of, and Asta finds a sword in this room because Mars finds a way to beat Asta, and it's because he has the gut sword. So if Mars just throws fast projectiles at him, he won't be able to beat him because he's too slow with the sword. So when Asta gets knocked in the room, there's a lighter sword that he basically puts into his grimoire. So he has two swords now, and he gets back up and he starts fighting Mars, but he's too beat up right now to beat him. So he injures him, but he can't finish it. And as Mars goes to kill Asta, as Mimosa's healing him, because Noelle also was on the brink of death because Mars clapped her, and Mimosa was healing her before she went to go heal Asta. Just unlocks like his spells that he was using, and he goes to help Asta. He like one shots the guy because he stops time, and the a fairy spirit is waiting for him in the stop time, and they yawn, and they just insta kill what's his face. They literally blast him into the wall, and so they won. Like they won the battle. And while all that's happening, the treasury starts crumbling, and so they have to escape and all that. And Asta's like, "Yo, bring him, bring him with us." And they're like, "Why?" And he's like, "Because we were here to find treasure, not to kill him." And it's like, dang, I mean, it's true, we're not killers at the end of the day, right? So they try to get him, but they can't, so they have to leave him. And luckily, the guy with the smoke train, he was still in the treasury, so he was able to to get Mars and leave. And while Mars was fighting, we learned about his story about how the Diamond Kingdom is using children to make ultimate like life forms in a sense where they're super strong, have multiple magics, all this. And Mars had to kill one of his best friends who was with him the entire time because they were forced to. The last survivor was the one like it's like the apex predator, where the strong survive and the weak get weeded out type stuff. And he had to kill her, but she didn't hold it against him because it was a bad situation. So she gave him her magic, and then she died in his arms. And it's been trauma ever since. So he's held it in his heart. But seeing Asta kind of like shifted his heart a little bit and made him more susceptible to what he used to be like. His memories of him wanting to go outside, like Aaron type stuff. It was just it was nice. It was nice to see honestly. Gave him some depth, not a lot of depth, but enough to make him interesting. And so they're leaving with some treasury. Asta and their group couldn't get a lot of treasure. They just got the new augments that you know and Asta got, so that's really it. But they left with their lives. That's basically all that matters. So Asta wakes up. He's healed again, like enough to walk and stand. He still needs a lot of healing to be 100% again. But Mimosa did her job. And so they're just talking, they're chilling, and Klaus actually apologizes because the whole time he was just appalled at the fact that commoners were with him, like Luck, Yuno, Asta, all of them. Oh, except for Mimosa and Noah, because they're both royals. But he was just appalled, and then seeing them fight, despite the fact that they're commoners, really made an impression on him. And so he goes to hug them, and he apologizes for his appalling behavior, like disgusting behavior. And they're just like, "It's no worries, man, but you're crushing me. I'm dying." And so they're having their banter again, and they have one final scene with Noelle and Asta where Asta's like, "Hey, Noelle, looks like I'm not the only one with ripped clothes now, huh?" And it's because Noelle almost died, and so she goes to stomp him out in his solar plexus, and then he almost dies. And then they're all just chilling, they're having a good time, they're laughing, and that's the end of the arc. That's the end of the a dungeon exploration arc, and I enjoyed it. Like I genuinely enjoyed it. Like I mentioned in the spoiler-free section, I had so much fun with this arc. It was so cute, it was so wholesome. Noelle and Asta are just so funny together. Like it gives me like what's this dude's name? Denji and Power vibes, but there is some hint of romantic tension, at least from Noelle. And you have Mimosa starting to get thrown in there as well, and it's just like, oh, this is so cute. Like honestly, being a boy, excuse me, I don't want to make that sound sexist. I just mean like most boys in anime, especially shonen pro tags, are numb to when girls like them, so they don't realize it. And Asta's no different, so he doesn't notice it. But stuff like that is brewing. But from right now, is it they're good friends. Like from what we can tell, they're good friends. I really like that. We also got to see more about Luck, and I really like that as well because he just seems like such a nice guy, but then you realize like he's actually insane. But he has a good heart underneath, and he will fight for his friends. And he's just learning, he's growing. He's older than Austin, Noel, but he's still a young guy. So he's still trying. He's still trying. And the Black Bull just generally feels like a family, so it's awesome. And I'm seeing more of the Golden Deer as well. Like I love seeing side with Mimosa. Mimosa definitely being my favorite character from them. Then then Klaus. But none of them are like bad bad. I understand why Klaus is like that. It can get annoying sometimes. Like, bro, Klaus, relax, please. But luckily, the characters notice it as well, so they kind of like turn or toggle him down a bit. But overall, like this arc, I had so much fun watching it. I was just really enjoying it from start to finish, except for the CGI. But again, like that's just only one part. That's only one episode out of a 6 episode thing. So while it does have impact, it's not like severely dropping the grade for me. So 7 to 7.5. My MVP is definitely definitely Asta. Yeah, definitely Asta for sure. Then then Mimosa for me. Like I really like her. But yeah, that's basically it for me for now. Like that's my opinion on the dungeon exploration arc. Let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll be here next time for the next arc. I don't know what it's called, but I can't wait to see what happens next. So thank y'all for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed. I'll see you all in the next video. Let's see. Yep, I got under 20 minutes. Let's go. All right, I'll check you guys out. Peace.